Hi, this is Chris with Christine Cheryl Ceramics, and I am going to show you today how I use hot wax on my pots prior to glazing. I have my electric skillet, and I also have some paraffin wax in here, and I threw in a crayon so I could see how far up my piece the wax is going. First, a tip: anything like this is going to be the top to a butterbell, and so it's hollow in here, and when you go to glaze your piece, what you want to do is go down on an angle and then down, give it a twist, and then pick up again on an angle and out. And you can now see that I should have a pretty even glaze, wax line. And then of course I'm going to swirl it around so I don't have any drips and put it off. Now this is the bottom of the butterbell. This has a flat bottom. I did not trim a foot in it. And what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to go down on an angle and then the balance. I'm going to give it a good twist, and when I pull it out, I'm going to come up on an angle. The larger the flat piece is, the more it can drip. And as you can see here, I have no drips, but it's perfectly covered in wax. Now, as far as the different waxes that you can use, I'm currently just using Gulf wax that I picked up at the grocery store because I was completely out of soy wax and some other vegan waxes that I use. What I do is I set my control dial between right about 200, between 200 and 250, and I find that is a good melting point for the wax. I only use hot wax when my studio is opened. I have, if I'm doing it during the winter, I have fans going, I have the door opened, because a lot of the paraffin wax can give off a noxious odor. Not so much with soy wax or some of your other vegan waxes. I do not use hot wax exclusively on my larger pieces. I will use a cold wax, which, let's see. This is by Aftosa that I picked up years ago. I buy it by the gallon and I transfer it into this smaller container. Let me move this out of the way since we are done. So I first bought it like this because I wanted to see if I liked it, and I did. Aside from it being one of the only cold waxes I could find at the time. And I purchased this gallon, and I still have quite a bit. There's probably about a half gallon left, and it will separate. I give it a really good shake, transfer it into here, and I'm fine. I have picked up some other cold waxes that I'm looking forward to testing out and seeing how I like them. Sometimes they flow a little easier if you add a little bit of water. Cold waxes I find work best for resisting if I let it sit overnight and really cure to the bottom of the piece. Hot wax, you can immediately start glazing and the glaze will basically just run off the glazed area. You have very little touch up to do usually. I use a combination of cold wax and hot wax on things. Sometimes I will do hot wax on the bottom of, say, sugar bowls, anything that has a lid, and the inside of the rim. Very often I will cold wax that. So that's a little tip there as well, just so that I can keep the production going. And that's really it for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.